Alright, sorry for the shitty lighting and the shitty video. New GoPro's coming. But I figured out why the TBS Micro version 2 wouldn't bind. The new receiver is a newer, updated version. The transmitters, the micros, are an older one. So when you want to say bind, it'll say update firmware on the controller. Even if you do it on the Agent X, it'll say update firmware. And then if you try to update it, it won't update. But if you leave your module plugged into your computer long enough, it will eventually allow you to click. And when it clicks, it'll allow you to update, and it'll shut down, but it'll never turn on, and it'll never get to the subsystems. So eventually, after waiting 10, 15, 20 minutes and it doesn't turn your module back on, you'll unplug your USB, plug it back in, hoping it'll finish, and it won't finish. So what I did was I turned it on to Agent M because I heard Agent M works, and I was just done using Agent X because it just doesn't even really recognize it. So I went on Agent M, plugged in the module. Immediately I noticed it because it asked me what my USB device do I want to use. I said use, the micro, but it was in bootloader mode because I could see that because the driver was saying bootloader mode, micro, TBS, crossfire module. So I clicked on it. I clicked to 6.3 to update, and then it went through and started loading, luckily. And then it asked me to click on the device again, which device I wanted to load it to, and I loaded it. It had no version on there because the Agent X totally, when it stopped, it totally wiped and never finished. So I had to use Agent M after it was in bootloader mode to get it to even update. So I would just say if you got a fresh TBS Micro Crossfire module, use just Agent M and try to use Agent M to update, because you literally can click the device that you want, and in their upload it actually doesn't shut it down and then try to turn it back on, which I think is the problem because it doesn't have the authorization to turn it back on. The shut down and turn it on part after it loads in the stuff just fucks it all up. So right now I'm binding and I'm bound. This is bound okay. My receiver went green. Yes, I have props on and I'm a dumbass. I smacked my fingers enough still not to learn. But yes, it's green now and it updated this time. So I went from a version that it was on higher, and this was a lower version. I put this on a high version, and I just updated it up to the same. So hopefully it works.